Hello and welcome to News Cycle on Global Television, coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Adikan Michael. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and StarTimes channel 276. You can also download the Global TV mobile app for Android and iOS devices to keep track of our broadcast. Hello here. United States District Court in Colombia has ordered the Federal Bureau of Investigation and the Drug Enforcement Administration to release records relating to the criminal investigation of the President Bola Tinubu over alleged drug trafficking. Judge Barry Howell, in a ruling dated April 8, which can be found on the court's website, directed both agencies to search for and process the non-exempt records tied to the Freedom of Information Act requests filed by the American researcher Aaron Greenspan. The Greenspan's founder of Legal Transparency Platform PlanSite had submitted 12 FOIA requests between 2022 and 2023 seeking information on the Chicago drug ring that operates in the early 1990s. Meanwhile, President Tinubu has directed the National Open University of Nigeria to shift towards becoming a fully online institution, leveraging its existing expertise in open and distance learning. Tinubu is also the visitor to the university, stated this in Abuja at the 14th convocation of the institution. This is even as he mandated the institution to maximize its delivery system by fully embracing technology, taking its online capabilities to the next level. And also, the Economic Rights and Accountability Project has urged Senate President Godswill Akpabio and the Speaker of the House of Representatives Tajuddin Abbas to immediately withdraw the representative bill for an act to amend the Nigeria Data Protection Act of 2023, which seeks to regulate the activities of the bloggers operating within the territorial boundaries of Nigeria. Sarah urged Mr. Akpabio and Mr. Abbas to ensure that any amendment to the Nigeria Data Protection Act promotes and protects the right of bloggers and other journalists and does not undermine the fundamental human rights of Nigerians. And our governors elected under the People's Democratic Party had to take position in the National Secretary and the National Executive Committee of the party has a meeting in Ibadan, Oyo State. According to the insider on the condition of anonymity, the governors will also discuss matters relating the Rivers State emergency rule and address key issues impacting both the country and the party. The governors are meeting 3 weeks after the Supreme Court returned Senator Samuel Anyanwu as the National Secretary of the party against their favored Sunday Udo Kaya. The World Health Organization says Nigeria has allocated an additional $200 million to health in its 2025 budget to avert the health impact that the sudden and unplanned cuts are having. The Director General of World Health Organization, Dr. Tedros, disclosed this in a speech on the organization's website. In January, the Trump administration issued an executive order halting the foreign aid for 90 days and later issued a waiver for life-saving medicine and medical services, offering a reprieve for a worldwide HIV treatment program. And now the Arewa Forum for Peaceful Coexistence has passed a vote of confidence on the national chairman of the All Progressive Congress, Abdullahi Umaru Ganduje. The national president of the body, Bature Haruna, and the Federal Capital Territory Coordinator of the group, Mark Opanachi, while briefing journalists in Abuja, says the decision to pass the vote of confidence on Ganduje followed a careful and objective assessment of his leadership since his assumption of office in August 2023. The group also said under Ganduje's direction, the APC had recorded major electoral victories in 4 out of the 5 off-cycle governorship elections in Kogi, Imo, Edo, and Ondo State. And our bomb blast suspected to have been planted by the Boko Haram militants has claimed 8 lives and injured 21 others along the Maduguri-Damboa Highway. The Borno State Governor Babagana Zulum disclosed this after visiting the injured victims at a specialist hospital in Maduguri. During his hospital visit, Governor Zulum expressed condolences to the families of the deceased and condemned the attack, noting it regrettable that such incidents are happening at the time. And now, the Lagos Free Trade Zone Command of the Nigeria Customs Service reported a sharp rise in revenue generation while appealing for the urgent infrastructure development during an oversight visit by the House of Representative Committee on Customs and the Lagos Lagos NCS spotlighted its remarkable revenue performance and operational stride since its inception in February 2022. And now the Enugu Chamber of Commerce, Industry, Mines and Agriculture has urged the Central Bank of Nigeria to intensify efforts to save indigenous businesses and industrial sector from total collapse. The NCMA President Chief Odoga Madakol had a CBN special there at the ongoing 36th Enugu International Trade Fair. According to him, we are not unmindful of the various interventions of the CBN to support and encourage the growth of businesses in various sectors of the economy. Three major aviation unions have issued a stern warning to the Nigerian Meteorological Agency, threatening to resume a previously suspended strike over the agency's alleged failure to keep to their bargaining agreement signed earlier this year. In a letter jointly signed by the National Union of Air Transport Employees, the Association of Nigeria, and the Amalgamated Union of Public Corporations, Civil Service, Technical and Recreational Services Employees, the unions expressed deep disappointment in the NIMET management, accusing it of breaching the terms of agreement reached on January 28, 2025. At the heart of the union's grievances is what they describe as a management failure to fulfill its commitment to negotiate and implement an allowance before the end of February 2025. And now the Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board has released the result of the 2025 mock Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination conducted on Thursday, April 10. JAMB discloses in a statement by its spokesperson Fabian Benjamin. According to the board, the mock UTME is optional and aims to test its yearly innovations while also giving candidates an opportunity to experience the computer-based stage environment ahead of the main examination. You're watching the live broadcast of News Cycle. When News Cycle returns, federal government forms panel to assess the economic impact of U.S. tariffs. We bring those details coming shortly, plus foreign and sports stories at the other side of this break. Please stay with us. We'll be right back.
Do you know that global television can be watched in Nigeria and all over the world?
Download the Global TV Nigerian mobile app for Android and iOS devices to watch global television real-time from around the world. What are you waiting for?
Start downloading and stay connected to global television.
Welcome back and on to business news. The Nigeria Gas Association has stated that Nigeria's gas-led energy transition strategy is gaining significant global traction as evidenced by over $5 billion in new investment recorded in the sector as of 2024. This was disclosed by the President Akachiku Nwakabi during the press conference in Lagos ahead of the 29th World Gas Conference scheduled to take place from May 19 to May 23 in Beijing, China. According to Nwakadi, the recent wave of investment cut across critical areas of the gas value chain, including infrastructure, development, floating and liquefied natural gas facilities and gas processing plants, and domestic utilization projects. The federal government has set up a subcommittee to assess the direct and indirect impact of the recent trade tariff announced by the United States on Nigeria's economy. According to a statement released by the Director of Information and Public Relations at the Federal Ministry of Finance, Mohammed Manga, the economic management team chaired by the Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Wale Edun, they convened a meeting held this week to evaluate the fiscal and economic implications of the United States tariff measures. The meeting, according to Mange, was attended by the key ministries and agencies involved in the economic management and policy coordination. China called on the United States to completely cancel its reciprocal tariffs after Washington announced exemptions for consumer electronics and key chip-making equipment. And the China Commerce Ministry spokesperson said in a statement it urged the United States to take back a big step to correct its mistakes completely, cancel the wrong practice of reciprocal tariffs, and return to the right path of the mutual respect. The world's two largest economies have been engaged in a tit-for-tat tariff war since U.S. President Donald Trump announced this month stripping global tariffs since escalating the blackhead duty on the Chinese goods to 145%. And on the foreign scene, Israeli bombs the Renda Ali Harab Hospital in Gaza City out of service as child patient dies in cold after evacuation. The attack comes after Israeli military issued new displacement orders for the residents of the central Nuseirat refugee camp as well as southern Khan Younis, and a Hamas delegation is in Cairo for truce talks hosted by Egyptian mediators. And now the United States Embassy in Nigeria has released a new requirement for visa interviews starting from April 22nd, 2025. In a statement, the embassy says all visa applicants in Abuja and Lagos must bring the DS-160 visa application form with a confirmation barcode number starting AA and followed by 0020 that matches the one used to make their appointment online. And now Russian strikes on the Sumy have killed more than 30 people, including 2 children. The Ukraine State Emergency Service says that one of the city's residents told them that during the strikes, everything in the house was jumped. The Ukraine President Zelensky accuses Putin of ignoring the United States ceasefire proposal, and the U.S. Special Envoy to Ukraine, Kate Kellogg, says today's strike crosses any line of decency. And on to sport news, Victor Osimhen has declared that Galatasaray will always remain in his heart as the Nigeria prepares to depart the Turkish club at the end of 2024-2025 season following his loan spell from Napoli. The prolific forward, who recently scored his 17th goals of 2025 to move joint third with Barcelona's Robert and the Sporting Victor among the Europeans' top marksmen this calendar year. Atalanta held until the third place in Serie A after beating high-flying Bologna 2-0-2. Will recharge their bid for the Champions League football next season. The giant Piero Gasperini's side are 4 points above the Bologna, who are fit, thanks to the mid-third tap-in from the Ratui and the Mario Pass League's first league goal since November, not long afterwards. And our Manchester United goalkeeper Andre Onana has been left out of the squad for today's Premier League match against the Newcastle United following a difficult week, with Arte set to make his Premier League debut. According to report by the football transfer expert Fabrizio De Romano, Onana was informed of the addition by manager Ruben after United European League fixtures against the Olympique Lyon. The manager advised the Cameroonian goalkeeper to take a brief break from football to mentally recharge. And as we wrap up the news cycle, reminder that we are on DSTV channel 365 and StarTimes channel 2 services. Kindly follow us on our streaming platform at Global TV NG. You can also download the Global TV Nigeria app for Android and the iOS devices to keep track of our broadcasts. We appreciate your time for joining us here on News Cycle. My name is Edika Michael. Thanks so much for watching. See you again.